Hi, welcome students. This is the third practical for the final year. Alright, so the first practical which we had was for the molded chocolates. Okay, we had a long video for that, and remember that whatever we spoke, whatever we discussed, each and everything was golden. Alright, nothing can be edited or something. Each word is important because we are preparing you for the campus interviews and of course in the long run also. So when we have short videos, not much of information, editing is there. So I insist that each and everything spoken is very important for all of us. All right, and also in the long run. Not only that, you will be doing it for your practical exams also, but also at a distance. You never know what's happening. I mean, maybe you're not interested in bakery right now, but then again at the same time you might be interested. You might have the opportunity to do something in bakery. Okay, if not, home baking. I read so many articles these days that home baking is so much popular, right? So first class we were in the molded chocolates, and then we did the chocolava cake. Alright, it was quite a short video, and then again the kulcha out here. So for the kulcha, it is a flat bread. I have written on the whiteboard flat leavened bread. So flat leavened bread is something like, it's a flat like a roti, but roti or chapati is unleavened bread. That means we have put some fermentation. It requires some fermentation. So maybe we have put yeast, the biological thing. So again it will take time. Wherever bread is there, we need the yeast, which will take a little short time. So this is a flat leavened bread. Now this is very much popular in North India and Pakistan. Okay, and this is something which we can have with some sort of vegetarian gravies or non-vegetarian gravies. But if you see in North India, in Delhi, the matar kulcha is very famous. The matar or the chickpeas, that is the normal thing which we normally find in the streets. So and then it's a good accompaniment. It's like a bread, like a flat any bread which we know. We are doing a lot of international breads also, and alongside we should not be forgetting this thing, because it is so common in so popular in India. Okay, and even in fact the world over, even the house ladies, they are trying to make it at home also. You will find some videos. Okay, they are trying to make this kulcha bread at home. Okay, now this kulcha, there are different varieties of it. I mean, the variations are it. You can make it on a tawa, you can make it on a inside the oven, or you can put it in a tandoor, of course. And then there is something called the Amritsari kulcha also, which is like stuffed. You stuff it, you make it, and then you stuff it, or sometimes you put the stuffing and you bake it together. But today we are doing the oven kulcha. We have the oven in front of us. The small OTG is out here. And let's take a look at the ingredients which we have. Flour 250 grams. Alright, this is the flour which we have, which has been sieved. I told you earlier, every time this has to be sieved and it has to be filtered to take the foreign particles out, and then to have some aeration into it. Okay, so yeast is 5 grams, and in the brackets you find that this is instant yeast. This is the yeast, the great granular yeast. Okay, this can be stored for a long time. Normally in classes, what you have seen in our laboratory is we have been using the cake yeast, the 500 grams cake yeast. But this is instant yeast. That means you just put it in the flour, add water, and it starts to activate. Okay, no need to check, because this is a fresh batch. I am very sure that this yeast will be working. Alright, I sugar 15 grams is just the grain sugar which is there, and we will put the all the liquids, and then I hope it will be melting, and we will be making the dough with this. Alright, the oil is out here into another ramekin bowl. This is the oil which we have, this 20 ml, and some more oil to put it in our hands, so that when we are doing it, when we are working, when we are putting it on the baking sheets, we need to smear our hands with the oil. Okay, that's baking powder 2 grams. Baking powder is just 2 grams is just out here. We can put it directly into the flour. Okay, we put directly into the flour the baking powder, and then we have some curd out here, which is 25 grams. Okay, so curd is 25 grams. Now what I also watch videos. I also learn a lot from watching videos. So at one point of time, in one video, what I found was the curd is necessary out here because it digests the gluten. Okay, some people are gluten intolerant. This is maida, so we have gluten out here. So the curd will help to bring down the gluten. But normally what I believed for so long was, curd is something which is, curd or lemon is something which is slightly acidic, and then it usually gives a jump to any product, to any bakery product. So anyhow, so there are two reasons for using the curd. So one is like to digesting of the gluten, and then this is the water is always a 50 to 55%. The water is right out here measured. The water is measured out here, and we will be putting it. So we now start to put the dough. Making of the dough, we can use by hand also, and we can use our machine also. All right, but machine is usually quicker. Okay guys, we have the flour and the sugar and the baking powder here, and then we will put the curd. Here goes in the curd. We have the sugar also, and then the yeast. It's the instant yeast, so it will start getting activated, and we will have the water here. Start the machine at a slow speed, and we start pouring the water. So when we are making a dough, it's important to understand that minimum 50%, it can go up to 60% also. So this is 50% of the flour weight. So half of 250, that is 125 grams of water is there. So we are making the dough at a slow speed. Right. All of the water has got inside, and slowly we will put the oil. I prefer to put the oil towards the end because water absorption will not be enough by the flour. So it is like important that we put the oil at a later stage. Slowly so it's going to be a sticky dough, a slack dough, and once the dough is done, we will try to put this in a bowl and keep it for the bench rest, that is the first fermentation. So let's come back to the recipe once again. We have the flour, yeast, sugar, oil, baking powder, curd, and the water. 50% of the flour weight, everything has gone inside. So we will have the dough ready, and we will put it here and give it for the first fermentation. So people, we have the dough here. It's pretty much sticky, and we will oil our fingers a little bit, and we will try to put in the bowl. The bowl is also lightly oiled. Take the scraper and put it in here. So now we will have to put this to rest, and we will have to wait for some time for the dough to double up. That means the fermentation will be taking place. So this is called the bench rest. Okay students, we are back when the dough has risen, and then what we'll have to do is oil your hands, and we will be making dough balls of around maybe 60 grams. So here we go like this, and we have a oiled tray out here, so we're going to place it and then flatten it with our hands itself. So what happens is, if you watch somebody else, it might be possible that they are rolling with the hands also, but this does not need a rolling with the hands. So we are doing it with our fingers, and for this I think I'll be doing 3 out here and rest will be done a little later. So what we do is basically we want to make some coriander, dhania kulcha. So what we have done is fresh coriander chopped onto this, and then when it comes to the chopping boards, I find it very important to let the students know that once we chop onion or dhania or strong ingredients in the bakery or kitchen, we need to remove it quickly, because the strong smell can get attracted towards by the board, and then when you have another fruit coming in, let's say like a pineapple or something, so that pineapple will be attracting the smell of the onion and coriander. So it is very important that once you chop it, it is very essential that you put it in another bowl or a plate and keep it ready. So here we go, we have the oiling of the hands, and then we will flatten this kulcha bread of around 4.5 to 5 inches in diameter. So you can see it is coming up like a ball, like a round roti. You can flatten it. Same here, and so kulchas are normally round shaped or rectangular shape. So, and it can be done with the rolling pin also, as I had mentioned a little earlier. I am trying to squeeze in one more. So after the bench rest, what we did was we equal portions of this bowl, and we took our fingers, our hand, and then spread it. Then again we will have the second fermentation. Okay, I am putting dhania out here. We can put some kalonji also, or black sesame, or we can have some methi also, methi leaves, even dried methi will also work. So this is, we got something around 4 of the ones which is slightly elongated, so that I am trying to use the space which is available in the oven for this tray. So here we are, and this will be for the second fermentation. This will take around, as per the weather conditions, I find it's like 40 minutes, and we will try to put this in the proofing chamber. But if you do not have a proofing chamber, you can just put it inside the oven with a hot water bath. So see you after 40 minutes. Alright students, we are back with this baking sheet, where we have this kulchas which has been proven. We are about 40-45 minutes, and then I have written on the whiteboard, like this is the baking time temperature would be something like 190 degrees centigrade or 200 degrees centigrade for 9 to 10 minutes. The ovens would be little different from place to place, and it will differ, and we have to understand how the oven behaves. That is also one important task of the baker, how the ingredients behave, for how, when, why, what. These are the things which we should be learning, and this learning will be coming only when we practice, and when we practice, all these things we can come to understand, and thereafter we need to watch the videos. Alright students, we are back with this baking sheet, where we have this 4 kulchas which has been proving for around 40 minutes. And now that I have set preheat the oven for 190 degrees centigrade, and here also I have mentioned right now, like 190 degrees centigrade to 200 degrees centigrade for around 9 to 10 minutes. So what we do is, inside this preheated oven, we will put this and give it a baking for 10 minutes. We are putting it in the central part of the oven, and now we will wait for 10 minutes. Okay students, we are taking out this oven after 10 minutes, and then we find that, okay, it is in front of you, the kulchas are ready, and then we will little lightly butter it, okay, or we can put some ghee also, and what we find is, once we press it, it goes inside, it gets depressed, and then it comes back to its original position. So that means it is totally baked. So lovely kulchas are ready. Hope you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed showing this. This was your third edition of Banarasi Das Chandiwala Institute of Hotel Management for the final year students. Okay, so this was your kulcha bread, which is the flat leavened bread. Hope you enjoyed, and I am sure that you will be, one of you will be, some of us will be trying this at home. Stay safe, stay healthy, and God bless India.